Hammer time happening at 8:20 this morning. Chef Lynn Crawford bumped us a little bit, but that's okay.
She's royalty.
She is royalty.
Yeah.
Let's talk movies. Divergent fans excited about the second installment in this trilogy. Let's talk Insurgent.
Yes, and this is Shailene Woodley back on the big screen as Triss in the dystopian young adult franchise, as you say, in the second installment. Always tricky because you've got that bridge between the first and the third film, but let's see how they fare.
You found it. The future our people deserve.
What does Janine think is in that box, Caleb?
I don't know, but she's testing Divergent. Searching for the one who can open it.
Find them. Every last one of them.
There you go.
Okay, so this is an interesting franchise because I didn't think the first was good. I didn't think it was bad. It was just okay. Is Insurgent better than the original?
No, it's just middle of the road like the first one. And unfortunately, I kept comparing this movie and the first one to the Hunger Games. It's hard not to do that because they're very similar in their approach to these dystopian societies where there's different factions and different groups and there's civil uprising and things like that. So this really, at the end of the day, is too derivative and too familiar. And this is sort of the buzzed about genre these days. I mean, Shailene Woodley, incredible talent. She can do action, she can do drama, she can pepper in a little bit of comedy. But the script doesn't do them any favors in this one. It's just so expository because there's so much to explain and they're so focused in the first half of getting you up to speed. And I still felt if you didn't see the first one, you're going to be completely lost in this one. So it's very hard to get invested in these characters. A lot of them were very stock, and it didn't really craft meaningful and sort of authentic world building. Like in the Hunger Games films, I really believe in the society that they're creating. Here it just seems too artificial. I thought the 3D was completely ineffective, and the special effects just aren't quite on the level of some of these other big franchises.
So what is the theme with this one? Obviously, Hunger Games has a massive fanfare behind it. What are the themes behind this one that will keep fans coming back for a third movie, which is expected?
I think loyalty and things like that, and the sort of strong female central role. There's a bit of a love triangle aspect to it as well, and obviously like sort of standing up for what you believe and all those classic tropes that we see in these kind of movies. But other than that, there's not a lot here new to offer.
I think I know where we're going, but how many hammers for Insurgent?
It's a couple of interesting moments. I'm going to go 2 out of 5 though.
2 out of 5.
Yeah, disappointing.
Okay, action sequences coming our way in The Gunman.
Sean Penn is like shirtless for half of this movie, and this is from the director of Taken, and it seems like it could have been totally interchanged with Liam Neeson's role in those other films. The problem is that those Liam Neeson ones, they're kind of like winking to camera and they're funny, right? He's got the cheesy one-liners. This one is completely joyless, and it's like they were trying to go with Taken meets The Constant Gardener. So they've got this sort of seemingly provocative story where Penn plays this aid worker working in Africa. He's got a dark past. It ends up catching up with him because of something he did. Javier Bardem, formidable villain in this one, and Idris Elba, who's literally in 3 scenes. He talks in 2 of them. His name shouldn't even really be in the credits or in the poster because he's barely in the film. It felt like a hodgepodge of scenes that were awkwardly edited together and a vanity project for Penn, who co-wrote the script and executive produced it. This, again, we talk about things being familiar, was just a cobbled together collection of those kind of movies that Liam Neeson has done so many times better.
Liam Neeson did it so well with the Taken franchise of becoming that middle-aged action hero. Do you see, even if this movie's a flop, that Sean Penn could go in that direction and be a viable action hero on the big screen?
Yes, he's very believable in this kind of role. He can clearly still do the action in his age, and he's a dramatic, he's an intense guy, obviously. But the action scenes in this one were few and far between. They weren't all that staged, and there was like just endless conversations like this where they're repeating things about the character's past, and they added something where he's sort of he's got a health issue he's struggling with. It felt like a real sort of tacked on narrative aspect to the plot. Ray Winstone as well, a fine actor. His talents are wasted in this one. Javier Bardem's just sort of like scenery chewing. There's a couple of bright spots. Other than that, another forgettable film this week.
How many hammers?
2 out of 5.
So not a great weekend for
no,
new movies.
It's not.
Okay.
I got you covered though.
Thanks for the advice on that.